noms
Absolutely.
like Guild, because sure, you can run through the groups, and sure, you might even be able to beat the defending champion, but can you keep that streak? Can you keep that form going? I think one thing they've got in their back pocket here as they start on Defense Guild is that there is no way you would know what composition they were going to run here. They have brought a new comp to every map, and Safe starts things off.
Yeah, off the riff. You already see it. Kills coming through, and I mean, Guild off to a fantastic start. Just a bit of pressure being applied into mid, but Mindfreak, okay. Just lurks his way over there. Star now going to be activated. Smoke popped off, trying to create a bit of space, and PaperX already into the site. Bit of a denial of space with that fragment nade up onto Heaven.
And look how patient Guild are. They're playing this one for retake, allowing PaperX in, and then they're going to collapse on top of them.
Spikes got down. Guild been playing for their retakes over and over and over again so far in this event, but now Utility's going to start to come flying. Haunt into the flash to try and get themselves out onto the site. Smoked off on main. PaperX might have to start making a play here.
Here comes Mindfreak, back behind. He went on the long flank all the way around through mid.
Pop flash play. The timing needs to be impeccable here. Mindfreak's coming through. Do they even know he's here? He's found the pick. Still a 2v2.5 on the defuse. How does Benkai find that one? And Leo not allowed the luxury of just trying to stick that one through. The pistol round going away of PaperX.
Incredible performance from PaperX to drag that one back. And what a decision from Mindfreak. He pushed out through tree, went all the way down mid and wrapped around Heaven. And I was looking at that on the minimap, Brendan, and I thought, there's no way he has enough time. There is simply no way. And yet the rest of PaperX flashing through the smoke, applying pressure onto the plant, bought time for Mindfreak, who also opened things up through tree in the first place.
Yeah.
And the pistol round, Brent, is going to be a small little sample of what you've got for the entirety of this series. Guild have come into this tournament with a brand new strategy, which is to play retake, retake, retake. On their defense side, they are playing 75% of the time for retake. And as PaperX barrel their way in and Trex goes down, this doesn't look like Guild are going to be able to do too much here with pistols in their hands.
Yeah, decent damage done, but not going to be afforded any of those Spectres that would drop down to the ground. This really is a battle, honestly. PaperX, such an aggressive team. The executes of the crazy compositions. I mean, the desk was highlighting it over and over and over again. They really do feel like sometimes that unstoppable object. Yeah. Guild can play so slow. Sometimes they are just immovable.
It is. It is the definition of that kind of matchup, the fast v slow. I think this one's going to be the bull against the matador in this sense, and we'll see whether the Matador ends up getting gored at the end of this, because PaperX are going to charge into sites, play aggressive. They get most of their kills in the first 10 seconds of the round, and they tend to plant within 20. That is rapid. No one else in the tournament plays like that. And like I said, Guild are going to try and just tire them out.
Any other analogies you want to use for this one? Run through the I mean, I didn't write too many down before this one, but
PaperX, though, fantastic team. And they've got off to a good start here. And Guild, of course, are going to have opportunities to turn this one around now that they have rifles back in their hands.
That's right. That's the important factor now coming into this round, is that the money situation for Guild are going to be getting that buy online. Just deciding where they want to be playing this one in terms of the defensive setup. You can see that knife's going to be sent into A main. Bit of information going to be gained. Russ, something is not destroyed. Backs away. Safe has worked his way into Wine.
Yeah, that's off the back of the knife. You know, as the attacking side, they're unlikely to step into that defensive 0 point. And so it buys a timing for Safe to slip his way in. PaperX, though, so quick. After making a little bit of noise in A main, they're back over into B. And it looks like they're going for the hit already.
Yeah, but Horn straight over the top actually finds its way onto the site. As well, just trying to anchor and lock this one down. What a transfer! Trex finding two, you've got to be joking. And it looks like Guild have got this more than on lock. All up to Mindfreak with only the Bulldog.
He found a pick on Russ, who was trying to help the rest of his players by sprinting through Catwalk. Mindfreak already living up to his role as the lurker on PaperX. But this would be a pretty monumental clutch.
Yeah, everything against him here. Door closed, spikes dropped, there's only so many angles that can come from the jiggle. Peek.
A little strange by Coldamenta there.
Yeah, now they know. See what's happening here. Trying to peek off of the Prowler. Do not give him this many opportunities.
Oh,
that was
close.
Barely squeaked out by Safe.
What away that would have been.
Holy.
For Paper X to go up 3-0, but it's not quite there. Mindfreak 5-1, can't quite close that one out. And it was a great job by Trex and Coldamenta to anchor the site and stop Paper X from getting through the front door.
The decision being made there to even deny the post plant before they even got through, obviously that crossfire that's set up. They had a very good read on it overall. Now, turning into this round here, losing all those players means that it's a bit of a hefty reinvestment from Guild. They wanted to try and get back into this one. Coldamenta's only working with the judge.
You say only, but he's tucked up close to A main here in a position where he could do tons of damage.
Yeah, this is where it really shines, isn't it? But the smoke's in the way, but already right around the side, showstopper in his hands. Jinx making magic, but short work. Coldamenta just trying to hold down that choke point, only finding the one. Paper X getting control of the site. Oh boy, that's going to be spotting you, Forsaken. Maya have to dip out.
That's rough. I mean, he is walled off here. He manages to get his rendezvous down and teleport away. But on the other side of things, Jing's gone aggressive without anybody to support. And those are the moments that Guild are going to relish.
That's going to be the Nightfall used aggressively. Forsaken just swinging into this one. One kill found in the players of Guild. No sound cues, no knowledge. Just have to use their eyes, see if they can jump spot. Anything at all. Leo as well is going to use that prowl. Let's see if he can clear a corner. But at this point, Safe is positioning so far back that they're just looking to save this.
Safe has a rifle. Leo just now acquiring one. So I think that's the silver lining. Paper X Forsaken. Not going to let him get away with this.
Oh, I think Leo spotted it. Yeah, the ping was there. He knows the Forsaken's hunting him. They've got to know he's in market. But I mean, he wants these guns, doesn't he? The angle, okay.
Bit of a left-sided view model moment there, potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Overall, though, look at how that round played out. Paper X got into the site, and unfortunately, Coldamenta wasn't able to get more than one with the judge. Great trade from Benkai. But in the post-plant, Paper X are going to continue to push. And Guild haven't played against a team like that this tournament.
No.
They've played against teams that take the site, and then they hold, you know? A gentlemanly battle.
Post-plan utility, a little bit further back, maybe.
But Paper X are going to fight you. They're not going to allow Guild to group up and play for these perfect retakes. And that is why Paper X have been winning over 80% of their post-plants in APAC. They never let their opponents get comfortable.
They are monsters in that capacity.
So even while it seems like a great idea, yeah, play for the retake, allow Paper X to use all their util, might not work in practice.
A week goodbye, obviously, so Coldamenta gets some information for Pace with his life. See, there was a seize in play, but what he stacks over here, yeah, Forsaken has worked his way incredibly deep onto the other side.
And already Paper X have conditioned Guild to over-rotate, and they're already abusing it, with Forsaken working his way through. You might think this a little bit too much, perhaps, pushing all the way into spawn and donating a Vandal. I love the idea of Forsaken taking the B site, but that was a little too much.
Yeah. Really just, you can hold the space there. And Guild are so fast onto this one, already taking all the space, pushing past the Cosmic Divide. They're not content with just sitting back and waiting for it, but there's so much time on the clock, the way this is played out. It's another rotation.
And Mindfreak pushed past his own Cosmic Divide to hear the rotates through spawn. So he knew 3 players had come over to B, and he gives the info to his team. Go A, run cat.
Back and forth, and Trex, well, caught with the rotation. Only 1 player left standing, it's Safe. Can't deny the plant. Jing just running rings around him. And that is going to be the 4th round on the board here for Paper X. The back and forth and the mid-round calls by both of these teams. You can feel just this game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, awesome rotates around the map by Paper X. I do think that was a bit of an overextension from Forsaken, but the way in which they're using very heavy early round pressure to force defensive rotates and then lurking. And at the beginning of the round, Forsaken was the one that lurked and opened up the B side for them. In the middle of the round, it was Mindfreak that opened up the middle of the map, got information, and allowed them to go A. Great decision-making in the mid-round here from Paper X. Something that they've massively improved since Iceland. And they finished 4th in Iceland.
They only look stronger, don't they? Still no slouches, of course. They've been showcasing, I think, that they've certainly leveled up coming through the group stage. They've defeated many an opponent, but up against Paper X, you can see the hits going to start to come through with an old command. Another double satchel play. Trademark's going to be triggered off to the side, but Jing's already deep into hell.
The fast push from Coldamenta. Up, and Mindfreak's waiting for it.
Yeah. If
Coldamenta gets a little too aggressive on this one, he will surely be punished.
Astral 4?
The Astral 4!
No way, man! He just catches the awful timing. Unfortunate for Coldamenta, but the team that they still want to fight for this guild. Only 3 players left standing against the 5 of them, and this crossfire is brutal to try and work your way into. So much to try and deal with. The Haunt will tag and latch itself onto 2 of the targets. It reveals the information, but it's just not enough bodies for Guild. They just can't contend with this.
Not at all. And all of these retake attempts have been stopped before Guild can even set up. Safe though, finding 2. He's back, but there's no time. Leo's already bailed out. And it's going to be a 5th on the board for Paper Rex. Their way of getting into the sites is clean, but Guild are allowing them to do that. Guild want to play for retake. And the real fight in this map is coming down to what happens in the post plant. And it's Paper Rex being able to find picks, to throw aggression in there. And I just want to emphasize again how good Guild have been this tournament so far with their retake strategy. They've been playing retake 3/4 of the time, which is absurd. I've never seen a team do that.
What's the average?
The average, okay, for the teams that play retake the most, Bren, we're talking about teams like Fnatic. They play about 65% of the time. 75% of the time is another wave on top of that. And then the best teams in the world for retakes will be winning about 1/3 of the time.
Right.
Guild are winning 45% of the time. If you take that win condition away from Guild, if Paper Rex are able to win their post plants and they're being allowed to get into post plants for free or with little resistance, this is going to spell devastation for Guild on their map pick.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way around this with an adaptation. Obviously, that's why the timeout's called.
And what is the adaptation? Do you try and lean into your strengths and set up quicker for the retakes? Or do you try and stop them from getting into the site? I think this is going to be a real challenge for Coldamenta to get to grips with this team. There is no one in the tournament who plays like Paper Rex.
This composition that they are playing, it's pretty effective, I think, at denying the post plants in the first place. You have a lot of tools to work with.
Absolutely.
You got the pulls, you got the C's, the nade. So much at your disposal if you want to try and slow down a lot of those hits, but it comes down to that mentality shift, I suppose, but that adaptation. Do you change up the way you've been playing this entire tournament so far?
It's possible. We've seen a brand new Guild at this event, playing new comps, playing new maps. It does look almost like a different team. And Leo and Trex are playing like advanced versions of themselves, but haven't quite got going yet in the map. They've never been able to take comfortable fights. And so here again, we see the same kind of thing coming out from Paper Rex. On the anti-eco, they throw early utility over towards A main, and they're grouping up at B. Trying to make it seem like a default, when in fact all 5 players are at tiles.
The space gain. Look at Leo holding a bit of utility. Is it going to be able to be comboed with anything though? There's a flash to try and re-clear into B main. Smoke dropped off. Coldamenta playing inside of it. The Boombot revealed his exact location. Spam down. And again, that push and pull of rotations, the half by round. I mean, Leo's working with the rifle safe. Does have that tour de force. You can see the discipline is there from Paper Rex, making sure that they jiggle these angles. They don't want to be caught unaware.
Looking like they want to go for a B split here. There's going to be 3 players ready to receive. But no great equipment on anybody other than Leo. He's got to be the star right now for Guild if they want a chance in this eco round.
Forsaken just chatting out of control, honestly. Just barreling his way through. Now a bit of contact play, but he runs his way in. Showstopper as well. That was in action, I believe. Jing in mid. Doesn't really get too much done with it still. It's all up to Leo. Does have the rifle, but the spam through that Odin. The wall pen. Leo's caught. What's up to say? I mean, I've seen some just absolutely absurd stuff from various chamber players. This would be on another level.
And Defy bringing the Odin into the round to find awesome value with it. Paper Rex's trading and discipline is a lot better than last we saw them. If you haven't been following APAC, if you only tune in for the big global events, you will still see the same glimpses of Forsaken and Jing running in, taking duels, the creative, aggressive, yes, hyper-confident plays. But what you need to appreciate now is that Mindfreak, Divine, Benkai have gotten so much tighter at supporting them. The trades, the discipline, the macro game is all there. Are we going to see an aggressive play out of Guild this round? They have Safe and Trex playing up towards mid, almost looking to pick a fight.
The adaptation, it seems, now that they're on the buy, Safe does have this operator. The timing is very unfortunate, but luckily the kill is there. Benkai falling. He's going to throw a wrench into the plans of PaperX, but it looks like they might not want to slow down. All the players grouping up towards B main. That's going to be the C's tagging to the player. Fragment Nade, PaperX still want to be committing this utility now. You can see them starting to swarm into the site, but they were not ready.
What an outplay!
Trex over the top as well. That Showstopper putting in good work. Down to the 2v3. Jing locked away in market. Do they know about this slight off angle off the elevation? Heads being found. Now it's a 2v2. Josh is still 54 seconds left, but safe. Beautiful work with the operator.
Yeah, doing his job perfectly there. Not allowing himself to get caught out on sight. Repositions and punishes Jing. Mindfreak has been a clutch monster, though.
The 1-2 tap, you've got to be kidding!
This
Red Bull clutch!
This team is so insane in the clutch. Mindfreak almost winning a 1v3. He's 10-4 right now, whilst just cleaning up. The janitor is in session.
The crosshair placement here as well, it's just immaculate.
It's so good.
We'll see it at the end of this, but it's as well, I mean, avoiding the position of being played as well, just in case they pop flash through, which they did to get space. So he avoids the flash, and he's holding wide for the swing.
And just hard reading that second player is going to come late. PaperX, by the numbers, are the most clutch team we have in the tournament, and I think you're seeing it. A lot of that actually usually comes from Forsaken, but the rest of the team is also bonkers good.
Yeah, it's quite a task as well. Safe so far this tournament has been putting up some of the highest percentages of clutches. Forsaken still willing to take this fight though. Of course favored. Vandal in his back pocket, Divide, there's the Odin. I mean, you're just seeing all of it come together, the layers on top.
He's just putting down suppressing fire for the rest of FPX as they go in.
That the rest of the team they can't get to, don't worry, Divide's going to be there.
And look at this aggression already, never allowing Guild to set up for a reasonable retake. They're pushing him.
I mean, this is so outlandish.
They're slapping him around.
So outlandish.
Guild, so far in this tournament, have been playing the best Valorant they've ever put together as a 5-man, as individuals, as anything. And yet they're getting tossed around in this game.
Yeah.
Like a rag doll.
I mean, the desk was talking about it. The numbers that Guild have been putting up, these guys, Trex and Leo, they've been top 5 in terms of the ACS. Numerous other categories as well. They've been ranking incredibly high. But it's just, I mean, PaperX making a mockery of the numbers. Throwing them out the window, shredding them up.
Their star players, Leo and Trex, haven't even been able to take the same kind of duels that they have been winning all tournament. Here's a chamber battle. Safe. Recall smoke. Nice idea.
About avoids it, yeah. The rendezvous to get to safety, just backing away, and it's a slower start to the attack round. Mindfreak, you can see, just wants to claim a bit of the space up. Russ just peeking for the information, but he's opened himself up. Forsaken capitalizing.
Yeah. Getting antsy. And Russ goes down first. Excellent reply from Safe and a fake into A with the Cosmic Divide. And it forces Leo's ultimate out. There's nobody there.
Showstopper as well on top. I mean, this should really sell it. 3 players still locked around, but Guild, they've got to recognize at this point, though, no players have worked their way in still. The Cosmic Divide, it cut off a lot of the sound cues. It's going to be down to Safe. Alone onto the site. Does still have the operator. One quick scope. Horn's got to get destroyed, though, and now his positioning is known and just spammed. From afar, the Odin's still in play. Divide takes care of him easily enough. A bit of a satchel play, though. Guild are fast on the approach. Trex and Leo, dynamic duo, and finally they're finding their footing.
It takes them a while. Woo. Round 10 before Guild have a response. But it is that duo of Leo and Trex. Fast on the retake, finding their form, punishing Jing. And also Safe doing a great job early in the round to have that instant reply to take things back down to a 4v4. And also the quick scope on the player that was pushing him at market. And it's a great round from Safe. This kill in particular, reacting to Mindfreak pushing the smoke, could have got very dangerous.
It's so hard as well. He's under an immense amount of pressure with a Horde coming over the top as well. All the utility to try and clear him out of his angles. Yeah, he dies at the end, but the fact that he even gets the one there is quite astounding.
He's been the only player actually able to do too much when these hits have been coming through. I think part of the reason is that he has the ability to reposition so well, just by virtue of the agent he's playing. Can Guild recover the half? 4 would be the bare minimum to have any sort of comeback.
Permanent smoke popped off here. Safe is in a deeper angle. Look at that. Trademark was actually placed deep into mid there by Forsaken to try and clear out of the smoke. That was inside of it. It's got to be respected as well. As soon as the null command is popped off, it's the Vi's side. Russ also going to be answering with one of his own. So, suppression across the board. No abilities really going to be used by either side. What is
and
this
here's the lurk. Here's the lurk. They've managed to get into the B side because the chamber trademark was turned off from safe.
And Russ, what perfect, impeccable timing for him to take that fight into mid. 2 kills going to be claimed. He's helped out his team, but are they ready once more? Forsaken. He's taken all that space in the chaos of the situation, but now he needs to lock down market. The spam is there. It's all up to Benkai. It is all over the place, of course. The spike was dropped down, and that space is controlled. Regain, Coldventure and Leo now playing together, making sure they don't give Benkai any openings.
He's going to get his horn back in a couple of seconds. But Leon Coldamenta should be good for this one. Playing together, they now know the position.
Very difficult task for Benkai. The haunt shot by both players. We'll note there. Around the side and with the Prowler to guide him. Not enough. Leo will easily manage that threat.
Fantastic round by both teams there, though. Paper X using their KO ultimate, not for a sight hit necessarily, but to go on a 4-1 split. 4 players pushing towards Catwalk, and as Safe got suppressed, his trademark stops being active over a B, and Forsaken takes that area of the map for them to rotate back to B. It's a bit of a, it's a 2-pronged attack. Either they get through Catwalk or they can return back to B. But I really appreciate the way that Coldamenta and Leo dealt with it. Reading the play, rotating back, and Russ did well in mid.
Absolutely. Pop flash over the top. This looks like an aggressive play from Guild. They want to try and at least use a decent amount of utility to see if they can get anything, and Safe was posted up into that wide angle. Sidestep, dodges the C's, but a horn in his face has to break that. Positioning is known.
Here's Forsaken again on the lurk. Take a look at the minimap. He's just taken the B site for them, and this becomes a fake. What was an A site hit becomes a fake off the back of the lurk play.
He overextended last time, and now he's going to be facing just the firing squad.
These ideas are so good, but they just can't help but push. This is the double-edged sword you get with Forsaken and Jing sometimes, where he's just done everything he needs to in the round by securing the B site. It just needs to play to contain and stop Guild coming back in, and instead delivers himself up on a silver platter. And now Guild get to reset their defensive positions, and it should be a much more difficult round for Paper X to win.
Yeah, they've expended so much of their toolkit already just to try and get into the A site initially, so not a lot to work off, including losing those 2 players. And look at this. Just a jiggle peek slightly, spotting the player. That's going to be the nade to try and deny that lane positioning. And
they just walked in
as well. They have just contacted past. Mindfreak. He's caught the angle. Russ will fall. Don't let this get dangerous now, Guild. Got an advantage here in the back of the site. Haunt is going to have to get destroyed, but they have to hold this down with only 13 seconds remaining. The spike, it can be denied right through the box, and Trex knows where to spam. It's out. 8-4 is going to be the half.
It's a great recovery from Guild. The fact that they were down 7-1, 8-4 looks much more respectable with those final 3 rounds. But that's on defense side of Ascent. The side that they've picked, the map, or rather the map that they've picked on their favored side. That's a pretty brutal beginning to this series.
Yeah, and the question is, how do they continue this on the other side of things? Alice, is going to break down the initial half, though, and we'll return to the action momentarily.
Thank you very much, Bren and Sidestroke. Paper X, they're here, and they're not here to mess around. They're here to win.
Yeah, no, they're into the sights within the first few seconds, and even when they are, sometimes you've got Forsaken's disgusting lurks that may have went a little bit overboard every once in a while, but it is ridiculous how much space they were taking.
It's crazy the amount that it was catching Guild off guard in the beginning of that half, right? Towards the end, they started expecting it. They started having multiple players. Even in that last round, they're just looking at Forsaken as he flanks through B. Those are the types of things that actually really made Guild struggle to find any space to read exactly how they're playing. This round right here, Paper Rex with a nasty nade C's combo that catches Russ, and then they go ring around the rows of the entire map. This Astral Divide, they rotate back towards B after a Forsaken flank through mid, and then they get another rotation back through. Mindfreak smokes off the trip, finds another pick, and the round is over. That stuff is so difficult to deal with when you're Guild and you're trying to set up phase raid combos of your own.
Yeah, I think a lot of it as well comes down to, first, you've got the fact that Benkai calling a great game, but also Mindfreak, just his positioning as well. But we've got that head-to-head. The main reason I wanted to bring this up, though, is more so that I think going into the second half, we have to highlight Trex. I think he's someone that can have a high amount of impact. I think a lot of the time the executions from Guild are incredible, but he is that mantle. If he's having a bad game on this second half, it's done.
Yeah, I also, that defensive side for him, it's really difficult to place the utility in the specific spots when Paper Rex is all over the map. I think the guy who led the team for Guild, who led the comeback at least to get 4 rounds, which is really difficult still going into the second half, is safe, and he's still going to have massive impact because the op is what's going to carry the weight against people who are pushing you every single round.
Well, it's Paper Rex. It's all Paper Rex right now. They're dictating the pace. Like Tom and Bala said, some of the players on the side of Guild, they have to step up as we head into the second half. Sideshow and Bren, take us away.
Thank you very much, Sue. Yes, let's get right back into it. The second half of things. Guild's map pick of Ascent currently down in terms of the rounds, but the pistol round, a great opportunity, I think, for them to turn their fate around so far.
They're going to be banking on winning the pistol, winning the bonus, getting back into this game quickly, I think.
Yeah.
And when you're comparing the styles of these two teams, whereas Paper X were into the sites within the first 10, 20 seconds looking for the plant, Guild are normally slower, more conserved, patient, attempting to punish, but this time, barreling in early.
They've been cut off, though, the fragment need and a spam Mindfreak. He's handed an easy one. Player into the site, though. Space is going to be gained as Trex needs to do something, at least hold the crossfire. Look at all the damage that's being done. But the spike for Guild now, Russ is going to be just committing to that one, so the post-plant situation is in their hands. How they lock this one down, though. A bit of miscoordination there. Flash over the top, Safe actually gets caught by it. The Haunt as well. A lot of positioning revealed, and players are so weak on either side, but they just don't anticipate Leo on the bullets in the clip. The Frenzy not enough for him. In fact, Benkai is the one who gets 2 of them still. Russ, what can he do? Only the Ghost. So much pressure, but the reload in play, and Benkai with 4.
It's a fantastic pistol round retake for Paper X, and potentially a death blow for Guild. They'll be wondering whether or not to force into the next, but for a moment, let's just consider how good that was from Paper X's side. They went fast with 3 players through mid to B main, and this ruins most of your post-plant position. You want to hold players like Leo in that logs position and have someone to play off at lane. When you're getting pushed from CT and B main at the same time by a ton of players, you just can't hold those level of crossfires. They had to abandon Leo. And Guild are now taking a timeout. You can see on your screen that for the moment, they've bought up Bulldog, 3 Spectres.
Got the plan.
They'll be discussing things with Barbar to cook up some kind of strategy for this next round.
It's important that they don't let the opportunity slip away from them.
Honestly, I think that from Paper X's point of view, you could predict pretty confidently that Guild are going to go for this force. They got the spike down, they got a couple of kills, they're taking a timeout. Yeah.
When you're down this many rounds, you need to try and turn the tide of it somehow. And they open up. I mean, Guild with the faster play, it's something that typically they're no strangers to just letting the round play out a little bit, the time tick down, absorbing any potential aggression. They were fast in that round, and it was shut down pretty heavily by the Paper X response.
Guild actually like to mix in a lot of different pace of
a bit of conditioning maybe for the slow, and then mix in a fast play.
They do occasionally have some fast rounds like Paper X, but mostly they're going to be going for mid to late round hits into sites. And as you can see on your screen, Guild still with quite a bit to do in order to secure champions. There is a 3-way battle occurring between the 3 MEA teams. And honestly, Guild were on the outside looking in, but their performance so far in the tournament has turned a lot of us into believers.
It's looked especially good. An early play by Paper X. Expecting again some fast aggression, but Guild, they take it in a different direction. It's mid. It's the name of the game for them. Trex and Safe making sure that they can hold those off angles, but Forsaken with a judge. When do you ever anticipate this? Right up close and personal. It's a pop flash play. Russ was ready and waiting, potentially in the anti-flash position, but already Forsaken getting value out of it. Haunt up close and personal, and a TP behind. What? Forsaken, you are an absolute maniac. 4 kills.
Oh, what a play. Forsaken decimating Guild and putting probably the final nail in the coffin for Ascent there.
Man.
That is a backbreaker for a round. Not only does he win the 1v2 with the judge in B main, taking down these players, but then he goes for the teleport back in behind Trex.
I mean, obviously they're just like, well, okay. Being pressured from multiple fronts, but you just don't expect it. And the frustration.
Baba has had a roller coaster, heart attack, central this tournament. And I'm sure this can't be good for him. Watching Guild slowly slip away in this one. A thrifty round would be fantastic here to get a bit of confidence back into Guild. Forsaken, for a moment there, looked like he wanted to challenge aggressively over on Cat. Look how fast PaperX are to just abandon extremities once they realize that Guild aren't doing anything fast and look towards the middle of the map. They currently have 3 players looking to fight that area. Yeah. And A is only being held by, you know, the barest shred of utility.
Not too sure what the play would be here. I mean, it is just a bit of poking and prodding. And Guild have realized they need that mid-control. They can't just send everybody through the choke point into A. The trademark, I think, is going to trigger some sort of play off of it.
There's a haunt from Benkai that clears out B, so they're pretty confident it's not going to be a B hit anytime soon. Mindfreak can see down mid.
Forsaken in a lot of trouble. How was he just disrespected him here? Doesn't choose to teleport away, but Jing's got his back. Swinging off of the play still. An attempt is made by Guild, but doesn't come to fruition.
Jing there to back up his boy Forsaken, and then Divide coming around to back up Jing as well, with the players attempting to punish through B main. A decent idea by Guild, playing the map a little bit and poking out, feeling out where PaperX are going to be playing. But just not quite enough.
Yeah, not quite enough. You can see just how in sync the dynamic duo of Forsaken and Jing. Just overall, these guys are just dominant.
And it's about to get more dangerous because Forsaken has an operator in his hands. Divide picking up the Odin, with which he did tons of work. And there goes Russ immediately. First death.
I think Russ was jiggle peeking that as well. It was just being pre-aimed by Forsaken.
Russ has kind of been getting abused in these opening duels as well on Ascent. Mostly been playing Sage so far this tournament, but goes back onto his more usual initiator role and just getting bullied.
Yeah. It's hard to, I think, keep up with the kind of tempo as well that PaperX like to throw at you. And look at this. Oh, complete disrespect. Jing just holding by himself on Cat. Not much support, is there? Doesn't matter. Funny thing is his raw aim. In fact, take away the sound cues. Just make him just focus that much more.
He doesn't need his health. He doesn't need his ears. He'll just shoot you.
He'll just shoot you.
Remember, this is the player that goes for Reyna on Haven. He is perfectly happy taking raw aim duels anytime you like. Any day, call him up. He'll take a duel.
And the prime gaming flawless, Josh, to put them on the map point.
Yeah. Oh, that is just so clean. If anyone was wondering, I wonder if Forsaken will end up playing a little worse than usual because he's not on the stage. He's got COVID right now. I was wondering the same thing myself. But he has not missed a beat. And there's a PaperX HQ, and frankly, they're not... Oh, hello, where are we going here?
Fast play that we might have just missed out on a little bit, but it's okay.
That was a double blast pack with the showstopper from Jing. Like a shark attack play to crunch tiles.
Didn't come up with the goods though. Still Forsaken's holding close now with the judge. It's going to be the no command. They might just be walking right into this one. The flash. The discipline is there just to try and remove it, but Device at the bottom of the hell. Now the Red's going to be played just out in the open. Leo's dealt with, and Jing's already responding. The crossfire there. Oh, no! You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, you can't be doing that,
it's filthy. Enough of this. The Guardian, Trex, oh my goodness! How has he converted it into this? 3 kills, enough shots going his way. It's down to this 1v1, but only 6 HP. Him versus Benkai to stay into the map. The repositioning, Benkai's already worked his way around. The timing, does Trex even know about this one? And the answer is no. 13-4 is a scoreline. And look at this, another day in the office it seems like for PaperX.